Hi everyone, this is Sean from World Stitches, and this is little Neela Sky. Say hi, Neela. Say hi. Neela's turning 1 in a week. 1? How old are you turning? Yes, she's turning 1. And as her birthday gift, we have decided to gift her World Stitches. So this is the new owner of World Stitches. Yay! Say bye, Neela. Say bye-bye. Puff. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story of the shoes. So I started at World Stitches in 2015, and probably in 2016 added the Maasai sandals to my line. And I would go to the market and I would find the sandals, and there was this one sandal that stood out like far, 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 far above any of the other ones. Like the craftsmanship, the leather, everything was just really, really, really great. So I would always go and find this person's sandals, and I would buy them. But you've had like this cute sandal, but they only come in size 9, and that cute sandal, but it only came in a size 6, right? So there was just like no consistency. And then I would get back to the U.S. and I would sell them, and people be like, I love this sandal. Do you have this one in my size? And I'm like, no. So I realized in like 2018, like I needed to find the manufacturer. So I took a trip back to Kenya specifically to find the manufacturer of these shoes, hoping that it was an African manufacturer because I've always been dedicated to actually buying from Africans in the country. So if I'm in Kenya, I want to buy from someone who's from Kenya. If I'm in Ghana, I want to buy from somebody who's Ghanaian. Okay, so anyways, my driver like set out with the mission to find the manufacturer of these shoes, and he's really, really good. And so he calls me and he says like, hey, so I got them for you. I know where they are. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I found a lady. She's going to take us to the guy who makes the shoes. So, but the problem is that she doesn't believe that I have an American client. She thinks that I'm trying to enter the market myself. So you have to come and meet her first. So he comes, picks me up, and I trust him like 1,000%. I've been working with him at this point for like 3 years. He's amazing. So, anyways, so we get down there, and the lady goes, okay, um, I now see that you're real, but you're gonna have to pay me, let's say the sum was like $900 just for the information, right? And I'm all like, ooh, right? And I try to negotiate because, usually you can negotiate in almost any, every African country I've ever been to, you can negotiate. So I'm trying to negotiate, and she's like, no. Like, she's like, if you want to enter into this market, this is the price. So I'm all like, okay, well, you know what? That's fair. So I pay her the money, right? We get in a car, and she's in a taxi, and we're following her to go meet the person who makes these shoes. And I'm like, okay. So as we're going, I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up in Watts. So I know when like neighborhoods are changing, right? So as we're following her, like the neighborhoods start changing. You're just like, ooh, like we getting into a little bit more rough area of Kenya. Like this is not the touristy area anymore. And then we start going down. We get almost to our destination. We're going down this really steep hill. And I turn to my driver and I'm like, hey, like, what's your trust level with this lady? Like, how do you know? I started asking a little more questions that I probably should have been asking earlier. I'm like, how well do you know her? Do you trust her? And so my driver starts going, oh. So I know we're in trouble. Like, he don't know for sure either at this point, right? And so he makes some phone calls, start trying to take pictures of like the license plates and stuff like that. And I was like, oh Lord, if my family knew I was doing this, they'd be so upset because this is not how it's supposed to end, right? But at this point, I'm here, I'm committed. Let's see it through, right? So we get down to the bottom, and I get in the back of the taxi with her, and I give her. We exchange the money, right? I give her the other part of the money. I given her half before we left, and she's like, "All right." So we get out. She said, "He's coming. He'll be here in a second." So this guy rides up in a motorcycle. It's a black motorcycle. He takes his helmet off, and she's like, "Give me the goods," right? I kid you not. So I hand her the shoe, and his name is stamped on it. We'll call him Eric. It says Eric's shoes, right? Stamped on the shoe. And so I'm like, okay, is this your shoe? And he goes, yeah, I'm Eric. I'm Eric. And so I'm all like, yeah, I don't know. Anybody can say that. And he goes, follow me. So, hey, I got to see it through this point. So I start following him, me, my driver, the lady, and the guy who makes shoes were going down this alley in the Kenyan hood. So we're going down the alleys and stuff or whatever. And then he pulls that back, this like curtain. He's like, come in. And I walk in and I basically find like there's a whole shop. It's like all the young men, young Kenyan men. He's employed like all these Kenyan men that live in this neighborhood to actually make these sandals, and they like have the shop and they're making them. You see them and they're doing the bead work and the leather work, and you see him stamping the shoes, and I'm just like, oh, I found Eric. I found Eric. So that's the story of these shoes. When you buy these shoes, you are supporting an actual entrepreneur in Kenya. I know for a fact because I traveled there myself to find him. And you're also now supporting, the legacies of Black families and trying to create Black wealth or teach kids Black wealth. I want my child to have something more than what I had growing up. And so this is her company now. She's being gifted it for her 1 year birthday. So thank you. That is the story of the shoes.